And time. Welcome. My name is Traian, and I am very passionate about experimenting with flavor combinations. This inspired me to broaden my horizons and create for you coffee cocktails that use ingredients outside of the coffee spectrum. By applying the proper techniques to them, we can highlight certain aspects of those ingredients so that everything pairs nicely. I will start by preparing our warm coffee cocktail, so please relax and notice the menus you have besides you. Feel free to browse them. The coffee lot that I'm serving you today is a geisha variety that comes from Panama, from the 90+ estate, with an intense floral profile and high sweetness. It was processed using the cryolic folio method, which employs low temperatures that slow down the breakdown of sugars and other complex proteins in the coffee, in controlled oxygen environments that are essential in shaping this coffee profile, such as jasmine, muscat grape, orange blossom, and green tea. I am now pulling an espresso shot, which I'll be using in our cold coffee cocktail a bit later. For it, I'm using 18 grams of coffee, and I'll pull 40 grams out. And I'll place it into a hyper chiller to prevent the over dilution of my cocktail. Both of my cocktails are great to serve in a bar, a restaurant, or even at home, since the ingredients are easily available. And the first one will be umami and floral. Great to serve after dinner. And its name is Roots in the Night. I'll be brewing using a clever dripper, which will enhance body and intensity in our brew. And I'm using 25 grams of coffee with 250 grams of hot water at 95 degrees Celsius for a total brew time of around 2 minutes. For my first ingredient, I will add 20 ml of a syrup made with spinach water. To create this, I first boiled the spinach for 30 seconds, then placed it into an ice bath. This reduces the concentration of oxalic acid, lowering the grassy taste and increasing the sweetness. Then I blended 1 part spinach with 2 parts coconut water, which is earthy and sweet, highlighting the umami and floral side of the spinach, and 2 parts Yucatan honey that adds sweetness and the thyme undertone. I follow it up with 20 ml of mango and pineapple syrup made with equal parts pineapple juice, mango puree, and agave syrup that add malic acidity and a tropical profile to my cocktail. And now 20 ml of a lavender cold brew tea. To create this, I placed 2 grams of lavender with 300 grams of room temperature water to infuse for 8 hours. This will transform the note of mango from my previous ingredient into a more complex profile, such as ripe papaya and jasmine. Now for the spirits. First, 25 ml of Don Julio Añejo tequila, which will add a complex profile of caramel, lime, and grapefruit, and 10 ml of Lillet Rosé, a French fortified wine that will add more to the floral side of my cocktail, with notes such as orange blossom. Lastly, the coffee. To get the temperature of my cocktail to around 55 degrees, the perfect range to highlight the complex acidity this cocktail has. All right, judges, the tasting profile for this cocktail will be of ripe papaya, muscat grape, honey, and lavender, with malic and citric acidity, a caramel and umami aftertaste, and smooth, silky body. And I garnished it with moss to serve as a visual representation of the floral profile of this drink. Please enjoy. All right, judges, ready to move on? For the cold designer beverage, I wanted to create a refreshing, multi-layered experience, perfect to serve in the afternoon after brunch time. This cocktail is called Lavish, and I'm starting with 35 ml of a carrot shrub. To create this, I blended equal parts diced carrots, apple cider vinegar, and white sugar. The apple cider vinegar will complement the unique sweetness of the carrots by adding acetic acidity, which is hard to come by in both coffee and cocktails. I'm following this up with 20 ml of 1800 tequila, which will add agave-like sweetness and notes such as caramel and lime, and 15 ml of Italicus, a bergamot liqueur, which will complement the tequila by adding citric acidity and a bergamot note. This will be the first layer of my cocktail, and I'm now stirring to dilute it and cool it down to around 8 degrees. This temperature is perfect to highlight how the complexity and sweetness of the coffee will pair with the sweetness of the carrots. For our second layer, I'm using a siphon to create a light, foamy texture to the coffee. And I already added to the siphon our chilled espresso, and on top of it, 25 ml of osmanthus syrup. To create the osmanthus syrup, I used equal parts water and sugar, 2% osmanthus flowers, and 2% gum arabica. The osmanthus flowers will help the florality of my cocktail and add notes such as peach and apricot, while the gum arabica is a natural food additive, which will thicken and stabilize our foam. Now shaking to create the foam. All right, judges, since this is a multi-layered cocktail, you will get a multi-layered experience. With the first sip, getting you more of the coffee, with a profile such as muscat grape, mandarin, and apricot, with malic acidity. While the second sip will be more refreshing towards a profile such as muscat grape, bergamot, and apricot, with mandarin aftertaste, and malic and citric acidity. And to garnish it, I will use osmanthus flowers, which will take the florality of this cocktail even further and adds aroma of peaches. All right, judges, thank you so much. I hope I proved to you that we can use pretty much any ingredient as long as we use the proper techniques and proportions. Thank you so much. Enjoy your cocktail time.
And put your hands together for Traian from Romania.